What's up, guys, and welcome back for week 6 of season 2 of Man's Glory Podcast, where we keep it real biblical. So today's topic is Almarita. We are talking about raising children in today's era, and being that I still can't believe that my age group are the new parents. I'm gonna let Rita talk because I can tell you how I plan to raise mine, how my husband and I. Because y'all know there got to be a couple conversations. But like I said, how I plan to raise mine. But Rita going to have to tell you how she raised her kids. Because I ain't got no children.
Well, one thing I can say, I did raise them under the truth of God. And I thank God for that. Because, the scripture tells us to train a kid in a way that they should go. And when they are older, they will not stray from it.
They're not supposed to.
Well, they will. If you raise them up according to the word, it's going to stick.
Being if. Okay,
it will stick. And that's not to say the kids not going to act up. Because in the beginning, you all have heard me say we are born into sin. So our first nature is to sin, is to do the wrong things first. But you have to be taught. That's just like, as, my husband say all the time, just tell the baby, stop. Because if you tell them, they're going to look at you, they're not going to do it. And so if we do that, we wouldn't have so many problems. You cannot go 10 years and never stop a child and never spank a child. Then when he or she gets 11, now you want to be the parent that's going to discipline. Nope. It's not going on. Because most of the time at 10, a lot of them just as tall as some of us. And who you going to tell what to do? And then, if we raise them like the Bible tells us to raise them, we would have all these heartaches and hard times. It tells us to beat them many times. Now, some of y'all may say, beat? Yes. Beat. Now, it did not say abuse them, but because I beat your butt, don't make that don't make me an abuser. You got to put the fear. First of all, you teach them to fear you first, because they don't even know nothing about God. And once you teach them to fear you, you teach them to fear God. Because if they got that, I can't do this. Just like I remember as a child, and we learned this trick. I don't know, probably saw one of our big cousins doing. Pour out howl on your hand and light your hand on
we used to do that when we was young.
See? Yeah.
Or you spray a bunch of perfume on your light and it go.
Yeah. But you don't let it stay long enough to burn. So that's just like me, taking my kid to the stove and just putting their hand, just holding it there till it catch fire. I wouldn't do that because I love him.
Your husband did that to me.
Who?
Your husband.
And what happened?
What
was the purpose I was going to say?
No, what he didn't do that. What he did was he was teaching me one of his life lessons, as he do it, a spiritual life lesson. Do that. So he turned the eye on. He was like, "Put your hand over the fire." I was like, "No, I'm not doing that." He just like, "What, you scared?" My dad didn't know I'm competitive. I don't know. I was young. I think I was like in 5th, 6th, 7th grade. I wasn't old though. I was young, real young. And he told me, my dad knows I'm competitive. So he was like, "Let's see how long you can hold your hand over the fire." Who you challenging? I am my father all day. Because what you want to do is say, "Well, I can't do it. You're not going to challenge me." Hear my little ignorant self. I said ignorant, not ignorant. Ignorant. My little ignorant self go, "Turn it on then." And I held my hand up flying. He said, "Drop it down lower." So like this, the eye, my hand was up here. He said, "Bring it down lower." So I put my hand right here. Sweat. He like, "Don't move." And I'm like, "I ain't gonna move." Hand on fire. Like, that heat killing me. And so eventually, after my hand started turning red, I snatched my hand back. He said, "Oh no, you done, big shot?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "You couldn't take that, could you?" He said, "I saw you trying to hang in there, but you couldn't take the cut." I was like, "No." He was like, "Imagine how you would survive in hell. You wouldn't." I said, "Ooh." And I knew then. I knew before then, but even more then. Because he said, "Hell is way." I said, "You know what? Couldn't be me. I ain't going."
Right. But not even that. So y'all see, my husband did the life lesson to our children. A lot of stuff I didn't even know about. That's why I be like, really. But
let LJ tell her we live 2 different complete lives. Yeah, they crazy.
I'm like, when? But that's because he got his tail whooped. But anywho,
I was a good child.
she got whooping too, y'all.
When I got older.
No, you got whooping. Well, Jazz was a good baby. You know, Jazz didn't cry, so my mom used to spank her
to make me cry.
Yeah.
Because she was like, what else I do with a baby that don't cry?
Mm-hmm. You know, because everybody likes to pat babies up.
Right.
Now, LJ, so my mama said when LJ came,
He would cry, baby.
and because Jazz and Burnett used to love, you know, singing and music, she like, and the people in LJ, ah!
Isn't it like people?
And mama like, what is
don't.
wrong with him? This the only baby that don't like music. But we found out when he was in the 3rd grade, he had, well, because, you know, we sung as a family, the gospel trio, and we would go to these concerts, gospel, and we was the church and country, and after we sang, we had to leave because he was talking about his head was hurt, and we took him to the emergency room, and I requested a CAT scan. And that's when I found out that his sinus, this is what they said was wrong, the sinus was not draining, and that's why he couldn't stand the loud music. And for years I've been telling he be like, Mom, telling my child, he be like, Mom, my head hurt. I'm like, just lay down, go to sleep. And so that's why I tell people too, you know, like, I know some people say that's certain things is what autism spectrum, but it may not be. You know, it can be as simple as the sinus are not draining. And so, well, what they did was gave me some, I think we had to get some Zyrtex and a nasal spray. Of course, he couldn't take the spray in his nose because that meant he was going to drain. And he didn't want to wipe his nose. But that was that story. So that's why he was different from everybody else on that. And about but I can say about them, they were obedient children. By me saying that, I'm not saying they were perfect kids. They were good kids.
We didn't show out in public. We didn't show out in home.
No, they knew better. They knew better. Because how they was raised, and that's just like, you know, like you go to people's houses and the kids be playing in the house. Our children
We're gonna sit right there.
was not allowed to do that. They were like, it's okay. And my husband like, no, it's not. You know.
Let's be clear. James the third would say no, it's not to the adults. He wasn't saying it to us because we weren't going no way. And that's another thing. It wasn't never know we was scared. We just, because even at this big age, if they're young, and the way me and Elgin look at some kids now, like, the heck wrong with y'all? At that young age, me and Elgin look at them kids like, the heck wrong with y'all? We out in the public restaurant, them kids throwing fists, throwing food on the floor, acting a fool, screaming all that, talking back. We don't play them games.
Let me tell y'all,
we don't play with kids now that do that.
When we used to go out and eat as a family, and I keep saying Burnett, which is Marvin, he's no longer with us, because he will be with us. Because in the beginning it was Jazz and Marvin, which is Burnett and myself. And we used to go all the time. And James, so then LJ came along. But anyway, we would go out to eat. And this, you know how long ago this is, Shoney's was here. And it was
still got some.
Yeah, it was Shoney's and Leland, Mississippi, Greenville, Mississippi. But when we would go to, like when we would go to Missouri, Sikeston, Missouri, different places, we would go out of town, out of state, Florida. And it would always be the white people saying, just come, oh, your kids so weird now, they so behaved. I'm really like, what the heck wrong with them?
The black,
you know, because I've been, really, at first I'm like, but one time, after the kids was grown up, James and I went out to eat. Lord have mercy, we was in a restaurant right down there in Jackson, Mississippi. And I looked at him. And I said, I see why those people used to come and say, you know, to the children how well-mannered they were, well-behaved. That's what they would say. Because, baby, if those kids went everywhere, I'm like, oh, my God. Because to me now, this is me. When you pay your money to go out to a restaurant, you going out to eat and be served. Not for children to be running everywhere, jumping all over everything and throwing food everywhere. And not only that, I remember once we went to Greenwood, to the Pizza Inn. And this was years ago. And the waitress was so upset. They had a party, a birthday party. Excuse me. And the place was filthy. Where they said an 8 pizza, didn't even leave the young lady a tip, you know. But I'm thinking, I would tell James, now I see why. What, the dirtiness? They didn't leave no tip.
That mess they made, that guy up and did. Get another job. They'll pay you enough.
But anywho, and I would tell James, I see why all those years these people would compliment how our children were, But it starts at home. My parents, my mom and daddy didn't play. Let me tell you about my father, my daddy, the back that I came out of, Eggerduggars. The way we was raised, cars, you could not eat in them. You could not drink in them. Therefore, so we couldn't do it. So if somebody got into my mom's and dad's car, grown person eating, I'm like, you can't eat in here. Nowadays, kids like that, people say that's smart mouth. But that's how they raised us. And instead of mama say, dad would be glad that I was telling why, because he wouldn't. But that's how they raised us. You take care of these things. So, but this is me. Think about it, people. If you get in my car and I'm not eating or drinking, why would you? And then why would you say, do you mind? Yes, I mind. Because if you don't see me doing it, don't you do it?
But people get in your car and then get out and leave all type of trash.
That too. Who, me?
Then say, well, you saw, you should have picked it up. That napkin that's still sitting on the floor of the passenger seat of my Cadillac.
But where did I get the napkin? Because I don't take napkins to vehicle. That's what your
it came out of your food bag.
Okay, whatever.
When we went to Taco Bell.
So I didn't get it when I got back to my house.
And it's still, I done dropped it off at your house twice. That napkin still, and I said, get your trash. You did. So last time I had told you 3 times you never got it, I dropped it in your purse. You never saw it. But that napkin still sitting there passenger seat of my car when you pick it up. It's going on week 3 now. And
this the child that I raised. I guess we need to pull the bit out.
For her, up here talk about people and you doing. She right there. They show to do it. She the she.
No, I'm
she
not.
Is the they.
Whatever. Let me tell you a little incident about her. So because we don't believe in eating in the vehicle, so
I don't care.
We got his Tundra, and so and I had a habit. Sometimes I used to go all day without eating. So I had got sick. I need to get something to eat. And so I'm like, you know how you get to shaking. And so me and my mom went to Sonic's. So I pulled her out something to eat. Mom, you gonna eat in this truck? I said, yes. I'm about to fall out. She said, well, you need to eat then. Baby. Then that was on a Friday. So that Saturday or Sunday, we were going somewhere.
Who was the we?
Me, the family, me, you, and your daddy. I don't know. Was LJ with us?
I don't know.
Probably was. I don't remember. But anyway, I knew it was her because she's always with us. So anywho. And her daddy gonna say
that was a shot.
No, you are. LJ likes to be wherever he is.
Yeah, but that was a shot the way you said it. Because you just made tried to make a statement in the car.
What girl? Anywho, so her dad gonna say, Jazz, maybe LJ was in the car. Jazz, you can't eat in here. She gonna say Mama ain't in here. First of all, I'm grown. I'm helping you pay for this truck. Whoa. Hey, but I'm like, this little chick here. And so then, Jane like, what? So after he got through going out, I said, I was sick. Did you want me to wreck the car? Then he, oh, baby, no. But I said that to
baby, she good at blackmail. I ain't gonna kid you on that one, baby. She good
at blackmail?
Nah, I'm sorry, not blackmail. She good at playing the sympathy card, baby.
I wasn't playing no sympathy. Then every time I did that, baby, you need to eat. But the point was, because he telling her don't, then she gonna try to snitch on me, baby. I'm the grown one.
But when when she get her new whips, cause when I tell you my father will upgrade a car, if she see a scratch on, he taking it back. And every time she want about to eat, drinking, nothing in their car, I thought she was finna talk over. That's when I started laughing. First, I thought she was finna say something about when I got my Cadillac.
So she brought it up.
Same thing with my Corolla.
So when she got, mom was so mad at her. My mom was so mad at her. But she, don't y'all touch my water. Don't y'all, you can't eat it. Well, mom said.
I ain't never riding her car. And I
was what LJ used to say. Because when we got the truck at first, and because, he said, well, Johnny like, we finna go out of town. We like, LJ like,
Because we can't eat in your car.
We gonna go in mama car, her car. Oh, we can't eat in your car.
So anytime we got a new vehicle, we never want to go nowhere too far in a new vehicle because we couldn't eat or drink. We just, babe, what's the point of going on a road trip? You gotta stand on the side of the road to take a
Oh,
swallow.
not that, because as you get older, so we start enjoying the scenery. So because my husband drives the truck, so he know all these nice places. So we start pulling over and eating, let everybody eat and relax instead of driving and eating all that. But anywho, back to raising the kids and I'm glad that the time that I chose to serve God with all my heart was the right time for me. Then my family came along, because when we do that, and even though it may be hard out here, but I can tell anybody, if you don't have on the whole armor of God, it is hard. And that's from the helmet to the breastplate. We have to have it on, and more so for our children. I remember back in the day, and like you hear him say, my grandma prayed for me, and then that you pray for the generation, because either they would be blessed or cursed. So if we take our time and raise them up in the Word, it's less trouble for them. Now, you may say, well, I don't go to church, and my kids, okay, blah, blah, blah. That's true, because God bless the unjust as well as the just.
He has mercy on whom
He will. That's on him. But I know if I follow him and bring my children up in the way that is right, not seems right, the way that is right, that it will be all right. Now, I know troublesome time and hard times gonna come, because it's also said, woman born of a man, few days, full of trouble.
Woman born of a
man born of a woman.
I didn't know men can have children.
But they come out the back.
Learn something new every day.
And by me saying that, and then you go back to, okay, like the trouble that come on. We're like,
trouble won't last always.
Mm-hmm. And I remember people would say that if it ain't one thing, it's another. Instead of saying that, just go to that verse, because we're here, and we're gonna have some hard times. But those of us that believe and trust God, He gonna, just like if He bring you to it, since He brought you to the trouble, He will bring you through the troubles. He's not gonna say, okay, you ain't got that. He gonna give you the heart and the strength and the mindset to go through it. And the scripture, let not your heart be troubled. We can't worry about the things of this world. He tells us to set our affections on things above. This is what I tell my children. Even when you're looking for a job, it's forever. Keep waiting, keep pressing. It'll come through. That's my opinion on raising children in today's society. Make sure, if we put Jesus in our hearts and our minds, everything will be all right. Because there's so much going on. But you shouldn't worry about that. Because it's not, what can you do about it? You cannot fix it if you didn't start it. The only person we can fix is us. So my family, we raise our kids up in the truth. That's what we do. Nieces, nephew, come out here. We ain't got to come to y'all church. You sure don't. First of all, we don't have a church. The church is Jesus. You don't have to come to that building. That's on you. But you know what the truth is. And you see what goes on with us. The Lord say, worship Him in spirit and in truth, not lies. And if you come, you will see. That's what goes on there, strictly by the book. You want to say something?
So, y'all may not know this. This may be news to everybody in the world right now, but I don't have any children. Contrary to popular belief, I don't have any children. I have 2 fur babies. I have helped raise kids. I do for a whole lot of children that don't belong to me. But I work with children a lot. And I think in almost every job that I've held, I have been working with kids. And adults too. But kids drop to me. I love babies. I love kids. I love the idea of molding people to become better people spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, naturally, right? I want everybody to be the best version of them. Scratch that. I want you to be the best version God wants from you. I don't want you to be the best version of yourself, because that can be anything. Some people don't think nothing of themselves. So like I said, I've had my life planned out since I can think about planning out life. Since I was knee-high to a duck, as the old people say. I've always desired to have kids. I used to want 100. And then, I was a baby. I had 100 baby dolls and Barbie dolls. And dolls. For every birthday and every Christmas, my uncle would buy me Bratz dolls. I had the line of Bratz, all of them. Jasmine was my favorite because it was just like my name. That's my name in Spanish. I loved her. My uncle, I don't care whether it was a Halloween Bratz doll, whatever it was, he bought me those for everything, every Christmas and every birthday.
Clean up to 8th grade, wouldn't
he? Yep. 9th grade.
He like, I like buying for Jazz. She's still playing with baby.
Yep. Up to 9th grade. Well, my parents and my grandparents, they bought me, of course they always bought me clothes. Everybody always gave me money. But my parents bought me, I had the expensive doll houses, the convertible, the Barbie stuff. I had the Barbie line, the breast line, but I also had the armband. I was obsessed with babies. I had the baby dolls with the hair, the bald head baby dolls, come with the diapers, the clothes, the strollers. I had everything. And every year I would get at least $20 of clothes, all this stuff. I got makeup. I always got a bunch of money. I take all my money, put in my little purses, go throw them purses up. But I'm playing with the dolls. I got a laptop. I had got a desktop, first and laptop. I played with it, but the stuff I liked was the babies, the baby dolls, and the Barbie dolls, and the breast dolls. Dressing them up, teach them, playing house, all this and third. My Barbie dolls was always married. Had to be. I didn't have no little shaking up dolls. The little breast dolls. I ain't had no orphan kids. Always married, right? I had a bunch of kids, all different colors. So that's what and I'm gonna tell you, me and Benet used to rack up on gifts. We had garbage bags. We would go from my grandma's house to my mom's house to my granddad's house. Okay,
go to Dad and them house.
We went from house to house. The Christmas day, on Christmas Eve is when we open gifts. We had our family time, play games, whatever, cool. And we go from house to house. On Christmas Day, after we eat, then we go into my granddad and my grandma's house and get the rest of our stuff. Like, that's just what we did. So I've been saying, and for as long as I can remember, I used to say, I think when I was a little girl, I used to say I want 100 babies. So I guess around like 5th or 6th grade, I used to say I want 10 kids. That's the number that everybody knows. I said I want 10 kids. So now, for like the last 12 years, 15, 16 years, I've been saying I want 6 babies. And everybody that's related to me, the first thing they say, well, she used to want 10, so she doing real good. Because it was always 10. So now I still haven't let the 6 go. There's a lady who used to do her hair. And it's a specific type of hairstyle she did for it. And I don't know how my mom ended up telling her about what I said I want, but I said I want 3 kids. She was
always asking about my children.
And I said I want 3 boys, 3 girls, because I can't take 6 of me. Because in my mind, if I have 6 girls, they are going to be just like me, and I'm going to end up in jail. Just telling you now. But I said I want 3 of each. I want a boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. And all of my kids going to be drop dead gorgeous. They're going to have a head full of hair. Pretty perfect teeth. I'm not going to have buy braces for 6 children, because I had nice teeth. She only had to get braces for 1 child. It was just my luck. I got to get braces for all 6 of them. Oh, okay, well. And they was going to have pretty teeth. They was all going to be overly athletic. And they were all going to be overly smart. And they were going to be well-mounted. They're going to always be dressed the best. They're going to be in every sport, every club. I said I couldn't wait to be able to run around with this and that. I always said, too, my kids, I still say it to this day, my kids going to grow up the same way I grew up. Playing with Barbie dolls, race cars, having video games. We had Nintendo 64 when I was growing up. And I still got an old Xbox sitting right in my living room. Like, I always said that's what my kids were going to have. They would have a laptop to do their work. I got rewarded with a desktop. That was before they had a laptop. I got rewarded with a desktop in 3rd grade. I had it for schoolwork. I ain't care about the damn computer. I wouldn't have got on the computer, did what I had to do. Oh, I love hooked on phonics. I was a nerd. That's why I got on the computer. I love hooked on phonics.
But that's how we made it. You bought her education and things.
Yeah, if I'm getting on the computer, because like back then when I became crazy with my laptop was when I think I was in junior high. We had the social media, MySpace and Tag. Even still then, maybe I'm playing with my dolls, or I'm somewhere reading a book or a dictionary, or writing a drawing stories and stuff like that. Because I planned out my life. That's how I want my kids to be. And I think the lady who do her hair gonna tell me, you think you finna have 6 kids? They just all 6 of them be perfect. One of them gonna come out bald head. One of them gonna be ugly. One of them gonna have no teeth. And what she said, one of them gonna be stupid. I said,
it was horrible.
Baby, I'm just playing. I know you are, because mine won't be. Not my babies, but I imagine myself when I have kids. We gonna have the matching church outfits every Sunday. When we go on vacation, we gonna have matching outfits. my kids will not leave the house and their hair is not I don't care about having 6 kids. Their hair will be combed. They will be dressed to a T. Even if they're going, if I know they finna go play, they gonna have some play shoes. They gonna know to take them shoes off when they come in the house, but not some shoes gonna be clean because them your play shoes. You ain't finna be playing on them. Because my parents, what I found out, I was it. Somebody been in 9th grade. And it was my cousin. She know who I'm talking about because it's the daughter of her cousin who she was in school with. So they was all running around talking about it's refund time. It's refund time. I didn't know what the heck they was talking about. But that was
8th grade.
Okay. There was one point in my life. No, I was in 9th grade because we was at Leland High. There was one point in my life that I felt like I wanted to fit in. So I was just like, oh yeah, I can't wait. I didn't know what the heck refund was. They was talking about income tax, right? They were just talking about, it was refund time. Y'all know what that means. And so eventually I started to associate the month of January is when all the kids came to school, with the girls stayed with their hair done. Everybody had their nails done. They had their new shoes, this and third. It was like January every year. I didn't catch on to it about 8th or 9th grade. I didn't start trying to pretend like I knew what refund time was to 9th grade. But I know when I started school every year, we had anywhere from 2 to 4 pairs of shoes in August when school started. New uniform clothes. My mother is a licensed cosmetologist. My hair got done every 2 weeks, faithfully, like clockwork. Okay? And if my mother did not know how to do the hairstyle, there was only one time my godmama did. That was it. And it was this little spike hairstyle thing. I always had the nice little purse. I used to love my mama boobs, so she got a name brand purse. But when I was growing up, I liked the purse from Walmart. Because, baby, that's why girls had. But my daddy bought me the nice purse off the road. So, and that's what all kids wanted. Same thing. We go back, we'll leave. I think I always would go out of town 2 or 3 weeks before school started. And because we'll hit up tax weekend here. Then we'll go out of town. Where we going for that weekend for family vacation for those 4 or 5 days. We make sure we go on tax weekend. So we hit up at home. We hit up where we at. We was just so happy like the last few years with Louisiana.
That's as y'all got old. That's when we started going.
So we had
we actually know it was tax weekend.
We just so happened every time. So we will rack up. We would always have 2 to 4 pairs of shoes when we started school. I always had new crispy clean. My dad loved, baby. You couldn't walk. I don't care if that man was on the road. We not leaving out their house with no wrinkle pants on. Baby, your shirt had to be crispy.
Pull them off.
Take them out. You never thought you was finna just pull a pair of pants out the dryer. Your uniform had to be Sunday night. Get them uniforms together prior to.
My kids, our kids was so glad when they went off to college. Couldn't wait to wear wrinkled clothes, they say.
And still didn't wear.
Just.
The only thing you used to catch me in, the only thing you would catch me in that one freshly iron is a t-shirt. Because in Mississippi State, baby, it was hot. We was sweating. But, if you pulled out a drawer, the drawer I kept all my uniform pants in, I don't care what, I don't care. It'd have been a pair of pants that have been crisped since, for 5 weeks. I put them out like cardboard, got the pop loops to get up in there because mom washing clothes so much, and dad ironing clothes, we just get what's on top. So we had to start rotating them, right? But clothes always clean and crisp. We ain't never go to school, no bleach stains, no none of that. If it's bleached, okay, get something else. Same thing with the backpack. We always had a good bag. Every year got a new backpack, even though you didn't need it. We always had school supplies. Hair always combed and done. When we started playing sports, even though I played sports, really gonna do this hair. I'm gonna have a hairstyle. I started planning my hairstyles around where I know what style, because I love me some curls. But everybody knew me. Love me some curls. They called me the old lady. Baby, I got long, thick, pretty hair. I love my curls. Even when she cut my bang, that was a big step for both of us to do the whole bang thing. And I did that. It was a trend. Everybody wanted. I started wearing a little mohawk thing. And at the end of the day, they tried to call me whatever they wanted to call me. Booze, I was in 3rd, but I was the trendsetter at school. Even with I love Air Force Ones. Because we went out of town and my dad drove trucks. Everybody come to school with the all whites or the all black Air Force. Jazz come in with the red and black, the white with the reflective neon pink, the green and white. Nobody had my shoes. Same thing with LJ. Nobody had our shoes. I'm gonna get those. So now mind you, school starting in August. If I'm starting school with 4 pair of shoes, crispy outfits, new purses, bracelets, jewelry, hair done, my birthday is September 30th. So what that means, Jazz get for her birthday? More money. More money, more shoes, more purses, more jewelry. Then September 30th, we got December. That's Christmas. What's she getting again? More shoes, more clothes, more purse. Okay, and now mind you, I got 3 sets of grandparents. Can't speak for my dad's parents, but both sets of my mom's parents. My grandma would come pick me up for my birthday. My mom, stepmom pick me up, go take me, give me an outfit for school. Because one outfit she got, this the shirt. Actually, I think about this morning. This shirt came with the blue Gacho jean pants. I be barely getting this thing, but I still be wearing this shirt.
That's what I said when I started now. But thank the Lord.
I had to put this on there now because them girls done double. But I put this bad baby. My grandma Victoria bought me this baby in 8th grade or 9th grade. It was in 7th grade. We was taking school pictures. We took pictures every year, every season. We taking pictures. We still got pictures from all the time we took pictures. And come January, everybody talking about taxes. So my mama finally told me, I finally just was like, why everybody talking about this refunds? And my mama said, she said, man, we don't get refunds. We pay money back. Tickle me. But it didn't matter because when they came back, Jazz come back to school for the end. We still getting new stuff all through the summertime. We never not had our new stuff. That's why I never knew what refund season was. Bennett was the one that told me, he said, you ain't got to worry about that. He said, you always get your stuff. He said, the poor folks want just not getting their stuff. And I was just, yes, he did. Yes, he did. He said, we stay with ours. We.
You see how the kids stop, but these are children.
But Bennett knew about refund season. I didn't know what the heck that was. He said, don't worry about it. I'm like, no. So I told him, because when them kids come in, but that's the thing, too, I can say, when I wanted something, I just said, Mom, well, my dad, especially my dad, I be like, I want this, or can I get this? Can I have it? They either gonna say yeah, or well, if you do this, you got this. And plus two, you get report card 4 times a year. My parents paid us for I don't know who came up with that idea, but
well, we did because LJ hated school. So in order, we had,
he's smart as a whip though.
He hated school. I always have. So we came with well, for your age, they would get so much money. That was all of them.
But that was a dumb idea because we smart as all get out. Originally, this was the pay scale. Every A is 25. A B is 20.
I don't believe we made that. I think that's what she told us.
Well, that's what Daddy.
And we could not remember, so we had to go with it, y'all.
It was every A was 25.
So that's a lot of money.
A B was 20. A C, we always had money. And a C, I think that you got for a C, you probably got $10. A D, you got a butt with.
See, that's a lot of money.
And
for
so,
come on now,
but by the time, I think it was 1 year, Rita had got fed up because our LJ had his report card that year. He had 1 B, a bunch of C's, and a D. And Daddy, all I had was straight A. And Mom said, oh, no, you not, baby. And then when she dropped it down. So then for A, you only got $20. And for a B, she dropped it down. I don't know if it was 10 or 15.
Well, look, remember it was you, Bennett, and LJ. Here go Nikki. I got
Rita. They got nothing to do with this. Baby, mind you, Nikki is not me. Nikki and Bennett are all the same age. Bennett was born January 1994. Nick was born February 94. And I was born September. So they got months on me. Nikki, though, is her first cousin. But the three of us, we was like 3 amigos. Niece. Yeah, she more like her niece, but that's her first cousin. And that's why she called her Rita and Bennett called Titi. But we saw each other as sister and brother because that's how we was raised together at my grandma's house. So that's my grandma's baby brother's baby. So that's how, well, she ain't the baby, but that's his child. Mm-hmm. So that's how we were raised. And I've been saying to my mama for years, I always said, when I get pregnant, the moment I find out I'm pregnant, I'm going to go open up a checking and a savings account for my kid. And every time I get paid, I'm putting money into that account. I used to get so mad that my dad would not allow us to work. Like, he refused to let us have a job. He didn't play them games. And you got other kids, they too ready to get a job, too ready to get a license, blah, blah. So we got our license. We learned how to drive. They started us driving early. I was terrified when I was a little girl because she started me driving. I was like a baby, and she put me in the seat.
When James started driving trucks, so you was in what, first grade?
3rd grade.
You was in 3rd grade?
I was 9. That's when I got my first seat. It was on a quiz.
And so because he was over the road, so it was me and my kids. So I would take her in my little red Toyota. So I'm like, well, come on, we're going to go out to the country and let you drive.
It was a little Paseo.
Yeah.
I used to love that
But
car.
she was afraid. But I would take her out there.
I couldn't see over the steering wheel.
And let her drive. But now, Bennett, baby, please.
Bennett a demon leg. Demon foot.
But, so and that was just something we did, well, I did, for my, me and my kids, because, we was at home by ourselves through the week. So just trying to keep my children
and we played
occupied.
Bennett was so uncoordinated.
Yeah.
He was great at the in the band. Amazing singer. Playing sports was not him. was not
good
him.
at Taekwondo too, though.
Oh yeah, he was good at Taekwondo. We started that when we was
Yeah,
young. We were 4, 3 and 4.
But it's amazing how James and I, that's just like my little cousin who would be I would say the age gap would be my nephew. We got him into playing softball and basketball. And he was great at Greenhouse. Of course, he didn't do it in college. So, things that we like doing. Yeah.
Oh.
We stopped. And
baseball and basketball?
Baseball and the football.
You said softball.
Well, baseball, the football, and the basketball. And so did he do? Yeah, I think he did football in school 1 year, then he stopped. And then, but he continued on with the basketball.
Nigga did basketball, and she messed up her knee real bad.
But we are that parent, those parents that pour into the children and other people's children. Because I remember my husband was trying to get the school that LJ finished at the private school, and he was, going to we ain't even help pay for nothing. The young man, nope. And like I told my nephew, Burnett, when they went to the private school, and James had told him that he could go, which I didn't know, but I told him he couldn't go because first of all, he had a band scholarship. They don't do no band over there. You ain't finna do that. And then what you gonna do?
I found out they had a band back in the day.
Because he was not a sports person. You know what I'm saying? He did tennis. They didn't even have tennis, did they? So he wouldn't have thrived well over there. And then too about like
he was amazing at tennis.
Yeah.
I don't know how because he's so uncoordinated.
Setting the trend. I'm thankful for that about my children because we raised them. You don't just follow people into the negative. You got to be confident enough to stand alone. Just like you can hear James, if you all have followed her, she take herself out to the move and go out to eat by herself and all that. And that takes a lot of courage because when it was me and my kids, like I say, my husband was on the road when he first started driving truck. And so I spent a lot of time with my children. And we would, go places and stuff. But I'm glad because if you raise them, you have your own independent mind. And do not let anybody get you off what you know is right. And I remember he used to say, what we tell them or teach them is right. And they better not listen to nobody. And I used to be looking at Jane like, who you talking to? Who you talking about? But of course he was talking about probably my mama.
Hearing about, I'm saying my dad more specifically, hearing my dad say something out of context or hearing about him from somebody else or hearing about my parents from somebody else, you would think that my daddy is crazy or my parents are too strict. Like we had somebody who told me, come on, when you go out to college, you gonna be wild because y'all was sheltered. I said, who the heck you call me sheltered?
Somebody said it to me.
Baby, we have never been sheltered because my dad didn't let me walk the streets.
Right.
That's not making me sheltered. But we used to get so excited. My dad started letting us walk around the corner to the store or walk to the park. Let me tell you something. We want to go to, my folks think, we love being outside. That's one thing for sure. Mm-hmm. If we wanted to go somewhere else, who finna walk? James and Rita didn't play that mess. And we live in a great neighborhood, because I don't live over there.
I wouldn't care because
Rita didn't care, but Daddy did not play that.
Nope.
Baby, they took us and called us when it's time. Matter of fact, called them 10 minutes before it's time to go. 10 minutes before the function end because they're going to be there to pick us up. It would never be the fact that one of James Styles' kids got caught up in a group to my wrong place, wrong time. My dad don't believe in it. And if I drop you out one place, don't call talking about can you go somewhere else. That's a good way to get your tail whooped. Because that's not what you ask for. Or don't get dropped off here. And then you come back, you've been somewhere else, or I picked you up, or somebody seen you somewhere there where you said you was. That's a good way to get your tail whooped. Because you got to think about, too, you can think, when he too strict, he too harsh. But think about all of the stuff that you see on, especially now, because we got more social media than anything now. Somebody's child was kidnapped, killed, murdered, whatever the case is. That was never said about one of my dad's kids. Ever. People are molesting people. They're doing all type of things. One thing about it, we can go spend at nobody's house. If it wasn't blood related, if it wasn't my mom's uncle, Nikki's mom and daddy, or my grandparents' house, we weren't going. My parents didn't play this spend. Now, people always come stay. People used to love, for people to say we were so shut, they used to love to come. We want to go to Jay's house. We want to go to the big house. We want to go to the style house. They love, people always, because one thing for sure, you want to spend the night. Cool. But can't just, I can remember 2 people's house my mama let me stay there were not related to me over the night. There was my 9th grade and 10th grade high school best friend. And my junior and senior year best friend, when she told me do not go, she was like, you don't want to stay over there, and I went, and I'm like, ain't going back. So my parents, because too, you got to know what people are. But my grandma was like that. My grandma told me, she said, my kids didn't go nowhere without me, and that's just what that was. But like I said, when I had, because Rita show cut me off. The moment I found out I'm pregnant, I'm starting an account. My kids didn't want us to work. I mean, my dad didn't want his kids to work. So, but we also played sports. He said, I don't need you to work. Your job. He told us our job as children are to mind our parents, go to school, get our lesson, and play sports. And on the weekend, you in the church. So on Sunday. And like I said, and I ain't had no, like I wanted to work just because everybody else wanted a job, but and also, my dad taught us the value of a dollar too. Like if I asked for something, like my grandma would happily say, her grandkids, when she was referring to me and Ellen and Bennett, we're not spoiled rotten, but we good and spoiled. Because our parents and our grandparents went above and beyond for us. And I'm going to be like that for my kids. You get your grades, then I'll probably give you one. You want a computer? Great. What them grades looking like? You want this? What them sports looking like? You going to play a sport, and that's one thing sure, my dad didn't play and quitting stuff. You join, you going to finish.
You got to finish.
He didn't play being sorry, which I can say many LJ ain't sorry. Can't speak for nobody, y'all speak for the two of us. Same thing with my kids. You say you going to play a sport, you going to have all the equipment that you need, God willing, and you going to be the best person on that team, right? Same thing. You will not, and I told my mom this, I think a few years ago, when my kids are allowed to work, it's going to be in the summertime. But the difference is, my first ever job was USDA. I made good money. I love the fact that I had the opportunity. But and also, in the morning, I went to work. That was me and my mama going walking. Did 2 miles every morning after in that hot heat. Come back, take a shower, go to work. Leave work, take another shower, drenched in sweat, go to softball practice, go to basketball practice, leave basketball practice, go to softball practice, come back. My mom at one point, she was yelling because we take too many showers. I had to practice in the summertime while I worked. You had to show you can do both. And my kids going to be the same way. Because you can never say my kids spoiled. They are going to be spoiled. They won't be right. They're going to know the value of a dollar. They're going to know how to get their lesson right. And that's what I want. My kids going to be on Sunday. But I told my mom too, during Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving Day, yeah, we eat. After we eat, we're going to go feed the people. On Christmas Day, the leftover food, we're going to go. I told my mom I can't wait. I've been telling this for years. I can't wait till I get my house built. Because I used to have to move far, far away. But I said on the Christmas week, all my family gonna come stay in my house for the week. That's how many rooms I wanted in my big old mansion. My mom had their own room. Each one of our grandparents had their own room. All the kids gonna be down in the basement. All the first and second and third and 15 cousins gonna all be down there together. My uncles and his wife ain't never got married. Gonna be there together. Everybody gonna be there with their kids. My brother and all his 75 kids. My sister all that. And we gonna put on the show. You know, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna eat this and the third. And on Christmas Day, after we finish our dinner, everybody, including my kids gonna be getting up the other kids. Okay, let's go. We gotta go feed the people. And I didn't realize it until a few months ago. Everything I said I wanted to do, God has allowed me to do. My nonprofit is feeding the people. So what my kids gonna be doing on Christmas Day? Feeding the people. Then what, you can't ever sit there and say we spoil. They don't know how to act. This and the third. Even if I'm not saying my kids will never try to curse or this and the third. However, they won't have enough sense. Don't ever disrespect the grown person. Don't sit there and let another adult hear you, because they're going to be terrified to do. And I want my kids to have a conscience way worse than mine, because my conscience is horrible. My conscience don't play. And I want my kids to have that level. My kids going to want church, not just, oh, this is something I got to do type thing, right? I love the way I was raised.
Thank you.
In that moment, you're welcome. In that moment, it's still things that I don't like, but then also, I know what to do and what not to do. I know certain things I'm not going to let go on. Like, I would never sit there and tell my daughter that her boyfriend cannot stay in the house if he lives in another state, but let my son's girlfriend stay there. And none of them staying.
Good.
Because everybody going to get shot. Do you hear me? But my house going to be big enough to know, hey, and that's another thing, too. I want 3 of each. So if the boys want to have a sleepover, the boys can have a sleepover. My girls are going to be sleeping in the room, me and my man. Because I ain't playing them games. I ain't stupid.
How old is your husband?
Me and my husband. Because I ain't playing them games either. Vice versa.
Sound like you're doing how your parents raised you, huh?
I didn't sleep in y'all room.
No, but I'm just saying not allowed.
Yeah.
You know.
Cause I ain't stupid now. I don't think my kids innocent. I didn't even hear yet. I know they're gonna be some little demons. They're gonna be the best demons ever.
I want to go back to what you said about, for the sports. So when my son was going to Unity, and LJ was kind of thick on me, and they
He was a chubby kid.
They had the football, and all. So my son went down to the place and bought him the
helmet and the shoulder pads.
The shoulder pads. He didn't get the helmet, and he got the tights and all that, and which was about the cleats anyway. And so the kids told me that the kids was asking him, "Why your dad buy this and that?" And so one of the coaches heard them, and he told him because his daddy loved him.
Oof, that's a shot.
Yeah, but no, he was just saying, people got to realize the way my husband is.
We gonna
if
have
the school don't do it, I got it. And so when
even the school do it, he gonna do it.
Yeah. And so when he went down there to Deer Creek and they was talking about, they had the new pants come in, and my husband called the coach, Coach Bennett, how the pants look? What are you doing, Mr. Something? No, you don't have to get them. But because, like he said, your pants got to fit, because if they're too tight, you can't run. And that was the reason why he went down there, because he like, my son can't run. You got to be comfortable. And he believed in getting our children what they eat. So I'm like, that is too much. No. The school's what we doing this here. When I was in school, we didn't have to buy tennis shoes. They bought the shoes, which they were, but hey, times have changed.
It wasn't like that when we was in school, because
I know.
Dad bought us, I think I started playing ball in junior high. Well, we played the summer league. They started way younger than me, because at that time they had the little leagues, so now they have them. Like somebody told me, they came out in kindergarten, they already playing sports. Love that for them. But the earliest memory I have is in junior high playing softball and basketball and all that. And my daddy had me shoes. My daddy bought me 2 pairs of shoes for basketball, and they had to be blue, because the first pair, I don't know what color they were, but the team shoe. No, it wasn't the wrong color, but it was a specific shoe. They were white, but it was a specific shoe they wanted for the team. So my daddy take my pair back. He just went and bought me another pair. And that's just what I had. So I was the only child, because most of the kids complained about they couldn't afford the shoe. Baby James Styles bought me 2 pairs of shoes. Even when my dad's favorite sport was softball. He was a softball fan. My mom played basketball and she did cross country in school. My dad did softball. I didn't know that. Yes. My daddy did softball. He was all the way up until 30. Then 32? How old was he? I don't know. Playing softball. So when he trained me at LJ, he trained us with his bat. So when I started playing ball, I was in junior high. And I was playing with the high school team, because in Leland, that's what you did. If you playing softball, junior high plays with the high school team. And I remember the girls like Shinford, the older girls love picking on young girls, but everybody loves specifically picking on me, because they called me either little rich girl, or they thought because I was quiet, little rich girl, or they thought I was your neighbor child. They thought that I could play the ball. I was too young, and they thought I wouldn't be able to do nothing. They got them little light bats. Mind you, 2 or 3 of them girls on the team, some big girls. And I played with them in the softball league with our neighbor down there. So they just thought of me to be a certain way. At that time when I played, I was a little bit older, but I was young right there. I remember that first time we was out there, because they couldn't figure out why that lady wanted me on their team. I ran track in junior high. And then when she found out I could run in softball, so she had me doing a relay. I ain't like that, I'm gonna be honest. So we get out there, she went out there to pitch that ball. That little bit of I bust that ball out that fence. Nothing else was said. Do you hear me? My dad didn't play. Do you hear me?
He trying to.
And one thing I'm sure you wasn't gonna be no punk. My dad didn't play basketball. But one thing he made sure, my mama was a guard player. She played the top. My mama was little. I've been thinking my whole life I was a forward, a power forward at that. One thing my dad didn't play about. Them elbows gonna be strong. Nobody gonna knock a ball in my hand. You not taking a ball from me. You not gonna beat me down the court. You not gonna beat me going up. And if I'm going up, so you can foul me so I can get that extra point. My dad didn't play them games. You not gonna be sorry. My dad did not take it easy on me. My dad is 6'1", 200-something pounds, solid. My dad would knock me to that ground. When I learned how to knock, I started knocking him to the ground. When I didn't hit that ground, I think I could count twice. My dad knocked me to the ground playing ball. From that point on, was me knocking his end down. My dad didn't play that. And every sport we had our stuff. So even he put us in private school. Them kids go to the team they had in private school. They had their bag with the balls in it, the best outlet. Jasmine Styles pulled up with her own base softball bag with her name Styles and all capital letters, a blue bag, because the school was red, white, and blue. I got me a blue bag. I had a yellow bag price. I got me a blue bag. Styles going across the side. My daddy bat, because that's the bat I have been playing with my whole life. It's a heavy. They told me it's a major league bat. It wasn't wood, those iron. My dad spent some with my daddy prized possession, baby. And that's what I came. I had my bag with my baseball bat in it, with my own gloves. All I had gloves. My daddy, I didn't even know they had melted up to my brother. All our gloves. Still, I got all my gloves from growing up. Had them in that bag. Cleats in there. I had my old cleats when I was in public school. My new pair of cleats he bought me. And then somebody, one pair of cleats, I ended up with 2 pair of cleats. So one over $9.99. They was on sale at Hibbett's. They was a little bit too big. He bought me another pair to fit. I got 3 pair of cleats in my bag. I'm ready to go. After that first pair, they had all them little light bags. And my daddy told them bags not gonna be heavy enough for my child. They was like, no, she ain't. What? I was in 11th grade. He was like, well, no, this is the best all girls shoes, and then, we got some small girls on the team. And it's all right, bitch. Bust that ball again. Mind you, they feel like as big as public school. Bust that ball again. They personally went out and bought me a heavier bat. Don't play with me, okay? So with that, and so by the time we had that first game, like they told my dad, my dad bought me shin pads, gloves. My dad bought everything. My dad didn't play that. I don't care what school got. I wasn't sharing nothing. This is a private school with the rich white people. They all sharing their stuff. Jasmine Sade has her own. Same thing with LJ. He at private school. Had his own. Now, the difference between my private school and other private school, they only transport the football players. My school transported all the teams. The school didn't do that. They just what they was. But my dad went above and beyond. Because my daddy said he knew what it felt like to grow up without him. Yes. My dad said been plenty of time he went to bed hungry, didn't have anything. He got picked on because his stuff was wild, this and third. He said he used to have a mayo sandwich. He said, you know what a wish sandwich is? I said, well, he said 2 slices of bread and wish you had some meat. He said he had grease sandwiches. Stop that bread up with some grease to eat it. Because he said he know what it feel like to open that refrigerator.
Molasses, I hope it wasn't grease.
He said a grease sandwich.
Probably service.
I don't know. He said it was soggy. But he said he know what it feel like to open up their refrigerator and nothing in there. I never had that feeling. Now, if I go over there now, I definitely know what it feel like.
There's food in there, ma'am.
Girl, a carton of eggs, some milk. You don't even know milk in there. I went in her refrigerator night before last. Yeah. There was a carton of eggs, and I don't know if it was eggs in there or not. I just know she had the carton and thing. That's how I know she was being lazy. 3 drinks and some butter. Okay.
You didn't see the milk?
No.
And the cheese, baby. I got cheese.
Oh, she stayed with some cheese. I don't know why, because stay with some cheese.
First of all, it may not be much in that, but go down there to the
I ain't got that. I need some now.
For what? Ain't nobody there but James and I. So who gonna be like? I remember when LJ first went to college. Mama like, well, just buy some hot dogs or something there. She come over there. This meat is spoiled. Who gonna eat it?
Before
so
then,
why should I be buying food?
She stopped cooking, so I should have knew she was gonna stop buying groceries.
Whatever.
But anyway, I know how I want my kids to be raised, and you can say what you want to say for the female who fix something out. This a grown tail woman, same age my uncle, to fix something out and say that my brother and I are sheltered. We're gonna be this and third. Me and LJ ain't got no babies running around here, and I ain't got no kids running around here. I'm not nobody baby mom. He ain't nobody baby daddy. We never been in jail. We've never had to get a car towed or a report put up out on us. Ain't never been caught with no drugs. Ain't never been caught with no people that's been caught with no drugs. None of the sort. My parents have never received that phone call about their child. We ain't on the corner. We ain't out here doing stuff. We ain't got no business with the same sex. None of that. We ain't out here begging our folks to handle this. Now, in the event that we need them to pay a bill, they got it. Because that's their job, because we ain't married. But don't look at me, Rita. But also, you saying we shared to me and LJ both went away for school. And we didn't bring nothing back with us. Or STD or nothing else. If we want to talk about somebody being sheltered. Because these kids that's not sheltered is the ones that get to school and wild out. Me and LJ didn't go to school and wild out, baby. We came home on Sunday for church. Our parents sent us to school with vehicles, so we had to depend on nobody else. Huh?
LJ didn't come home and go to church.
I come home for church. LJ couldn't wait to leave. I couldn't wait to leave either. But then also, I talk to my parents every day. LJ did the same thing too. We talk to our parents every day. I came home for church on Sunday. LJ didn't care about that. He don't like driving, so he drive what he want to drive for. So I don't believe that either. Same thing. She's about the loud music. He be having his music blasting in his car. I be snitching on him.
You don't have to snitch on him. I get in there. Well, when I do.
Music up to the roof.
I think he kind of noticed now if I'm going to get in there until now. But about the the kids not being in trouble. My father was strict. Ooh, Jesus Christ.
I know the gin builder is.
House. My mama used to gin build. Daddy didn't whoop her. If Daddy whooped me and my brother, baby. But I had to be, when we moved from the country, from Tribute to Leland, baby.
Before you say this, I just want to point out.
What?
I feel like your husband used to find reasons to whoop us.
He did.
He just had to find something.
James, to me, because when I was raised, my mama did the whooping. But I've never met a man that wanted to whoop the kids. And I used to be like, what in the heck is wrong with this man?
Crazy.
Because the whooping was given to the only way the daddy whooped us, like the time. My dad had, our screen door had a screen on it. And so my mama, I don't know what me and mama had done, but back in the day, she used to remember the big old 3 feet coloring books. So my mama had bought us one. We used to color it all the time. And me and mama had got to arguing about something, I don't know. And so mom said, I'm finna whip y'all tail. And me and my crazy brother gonna jump up and try to run. Bam! Ran into the screen door and she had it locked. So that means we totally screamed. My dad had just repaired. She said, I ain't worried about it now, because Nuna finna tell y'all tail. And believe you me, he told our tail.
I've never run from a whooping. He doesn't have needs to my knowledge.
So my dad, my parents raised us strict. And so therefore, we raised our own children strict, and like I told Jay.
You raised your children, you and Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, but
when they came, they had to abide by the rules that we had in the house.
I'm talking about, because you said my parents raised us strict, you and Uncle Mike were raised strict.
Right.
But he raised his kids strict.
And so, who?
Your brother.
Oh. Anyways, and so when, you made me lose my thought about the kids coming in the house. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, so I told Jazz, because the only way that I got a chance to get away from the house, that's why I joined the basketball team. Well, actually, they asked me to play. And so, and when they asked me to play, and so I was allowed to go to the basketball games.
So she could see her boyfriend.
No, that wasn't the thing at the time, but to get away from home. And so, and I used to ask my mom to go to the game with me, like the football game, because my dad used to say, well, the only way you go is Bob go with you. Of course, my mom was not taking me to the game. And so, like I told Jazz, well, got to do sports if you want to be able to go places.
And my dad would let me go to the
But
I
did go to the game with my children, though. I didn't. My mama didn't, but I went with mine, But I said that to say I am proud of the way that we raised them. Yes, my parents were strict. My father, more so than my mother, but I had to do the same. Didn't want to get in no trouble. And so therefore, that's what we did. We raised them by the book. When I say the book, I'm talking about the word of truth, by the word of God, so therefore, but they had to, we had them in sports, because they say idle mind, the devil workshop. So we made sure they was always doing something, but so they had to be, they was in the sports and in things in school, not only did Jazz do the sports, she did the spelling beast, the oratorical, right?
Oratorical.
Yeah. So she did a lot of things, and with LJ, and I guess because of those headaches he had, he had a teacher who used to play the soft music, and she was like, she thought my son was faking, because she would get upset with him. And like I say, when I started earlier, when we took him to the hospital, and it was the sinus one, she apologized to my baby. But I remember, so now let me say this, if you have, and I know Ash, you just get a little distant on one child. With Jazz, everything, like James bought the dictionary and all this. Now, LJ had the road maps. I thought my son was going to be an engineer because he was really, he was obsessed with atlas and maps. I don't care where we went. But, and so, and with that, and I remember his 3rd grade teacher, she said to me, it's not Jazz's job to teach him. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about?
She said what she said.
But I don't know what she was saying, Jazz was saying, but she said, he got to do it himself. He was doing his own work. But she was in school. So her job was to help him if he couldn't. But I said that to say that, and I would help my kids when I came home. I would come home and start cooking. Because I can't, if I come home and sit down, we ain't eating. So I would start cooking, and they had to be doing homework, at the table while I'm cooking. And so with that being said,
But it got to a point where every year I was the one doing LJ storyboards.
oh, I wasn't doing no storyboards.
I
She was
be
old
up
enough to do them.
in the middle of the night. I'm to my 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, finishing his storyboard science valley.
But why were you finishing them? Because LJ wrote so slow and he was left-handed. I was glad when I was able to type them with him. Jesus.
We placed every year. If every year he did, I know I did. We placed every year in those storyboards, and the same thing for me in the science fair. It got to the point where my uncle had his kids. Then some kind of way I was doing this, and I ain't like that.
Her and Burnett.
We were doing them done boards.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I don't care how hard it may get in this old world, you got to keep the faith. You got to stay in your word. Because Jesus is the only thing, which is a spirit, can get us through this. And like you hear the people say, stay down on my knees praying. I don't stay down on my knees praying. I can be in my bed. I can be wherever praying to the Lord. I get on these old fat knees sometimes. But I'm just telling you, we got to stay prayed up. First, we got to do what's right. Because once the world gives me, a friend told me about my nephew. Because by him being the firstborn baby, we would just give him. And she said to me, Riri, she said, he's a good kid. She said, and I give to him, she said, because you don't want him in the streets. You don't want the world to have him. She said, I done been there. So I'm saying that to you all. Get your kids. Raise them. Crack down on them. Be hard on them. For those of you that had hard parents, get hard on your kids. Because we have lost so many people to this craziness out here. That's what I'm going to call it. God called it evil and adulterous generation. You know, I said if I was going to use the words that in the Bible. And we have lost so many young people to this evil and adulterous generation. But the word also said a disobedient child showing his days. So let's take it back. You know, everything that's going on in the world, the scriptures say, if my people that are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, then, you know, he will hear from them, then will he heal the land. Let's get on it, y'all. You know, he tells us to pray without ceasing, but we got to be qualified to pray.
So this has been another episode of Man's Glory, where we keep it real, biblical, and we will catch you guys in next week's episode.